In this video, we'll go over how to create a sign chart for the rational function, which will help us graph it in the next part of this series. I've collected all of the information we found in the previous sections: the domain, the hole, the x and y intercepts, and the vertical and horizontal asymptotes. Based on this, we can create a sign chart. To begin our sign chart, we'll draw a number line, but we'll mark down vertical asymptotes, holes, and x-intercepts. We'll mark all of those on the same line, along with the infinities on the left and right. First, we'll mark down the hole and make sure we mark it as an open circle. Remember that we're only going to be interested in the x-coordinate as we draw this chart. Therefore, we'll say our hole will be at -1, and we'll mark that on the number line at -1 with an open circle. We'll also mark the vertical asymptote with an open circle as well. That will be at x equals 4. And so we'll place that on the other side of the number line. We also mark the x-intercept, which is -5, 0. Once again, we are only interested in the x-coordinate, but the x-intercept will appear as a closed circle. We'll place a closed circle at -5, and then we will split up this number line based on the points that we've marked. From -infinity to -5 will be region A, -5 to -1, region B, -1 to 4, region C, and then everything from 4 to infinity, region D. To begin creating the sign chart, we'll begin by writing our simplified form underneath. We'll begin with region A, and we will pick an x that is inside of region A. Something less than -5, we could use -10 for example, but anything less than -5 would be okay. If we plug in that -10, we'll have 2 times -10 plus 5 on top, and then -10 minus 4 on the bottom. When we do the arithmetic here, we're not really worried about the answer, we're only worried about the sign of the answer. On our numerator, for piece A, we have 2, which is positive, and then -10 plus 5 would return -5. We really only care that that's negative. On the bottom, we have -10 minus 4, which is -14, but it's only important that that's negative. So now we have a positive times a negative over a negative, which is a double negative. And a double negative returns a positive answer. This tells us everything in region A will be positive. Again, that is because of the 2 negatives. Anytime you have a double negative, you get a positive. Now we move on to region B, and region B goes from -5 to -1. Any number in that range will be fine, but I'm going to use x equals -2. Therefore, we'll have 2 times -2 plus 5 on top, and on the bottom we will have -2 minus 4. If we do our arithmetic, we'll begin with the 2, which is a positive number, and then -2 plus 5 gives 3, that's also positive, and on the bottom -2 minus 4 gives us a negative. Here we have a single negative, which is the negative on the bottom. If you have a single negative, your answer will return negative. Therefore, we can say region B will be negative. Now we move on to region C, and we'll pick an x in between -1 and 4. The easiest number to use in that range is 0 because it requires the least amount of math. So we'll take 2 times 0 plus 5 over 0 minus 4. If we do the arithmetic, we have 2 to start with, which is positive, 0 plus 5, which is positive 5, a positive, divided by 0 minus 4, which is a negative. Again, we have a single negative, therefore we can say region C will be negative. Now, our final section, region D, we'll pick an x that is greater than 4. Let's go ahead and use 10 here. So we'll have 2 times 10 plus 5 over 10 minus 4. If we do the math, the 2 is positive. 10 plus 5 is 15, that's positive. And 10 minus 4 is 6, which is also positive. Since everything we have here is positive, we can say we have no negatives, and region D will return positive. Now we've created the sign chart showing whether each region is positive or negative. In the next video, we'll use that sign chart to help us sketch the graph.